Hey James, I just wanted to show you my current dome status here. So this is the finished one that I think you saw on the blog. It was done pretty much to club spec, and it just came out too heavy. I think it's like just the printed parts alone are about 3 pounds or so, maybe even more, which is just too much. My plan was that I got a TAS 5 after I printed the first one, so my goal was to print the whole thing in one piece, but the TAS 5 is just a little bit too small for that. So I printed one at 96%, and in addition to, I made a couple modifications to it too. I also printed out these little spine things, which are pretty crappy, as you can see, but this was just a tester. So these kind of go right into the sides of the dome and then act as like a spindle to spin the whole thing. And I also printed out the skirt and the dome ring as one piece, and I even added in James's, like a version of James's mount here. So then this would have fit right here, and then this would have been my, sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand, but this would have been my 96% dome. And I don't know how well you could see it here, but something at 96% has a much bigger visual difference than I thought it was going to. Like, it's drastically smaller when you put it on the Droid. I think I have a side-by-side in my blog photo somewhere. So I decided to go back to full size, but I kept this dome as my tester. So in all my videos where it's driving around, it's this dome, the 96% dome, on top of my little modified claw thing here. So here's what my mount looks like from the inside of the head. Those are all, I think, N42 magnets. They're all the strongest ones that I can get, and there's 5 of them. This 3-piece spindle here that has the wheels on it, I've actually upgraded that to a 4-piece, which I have over here. Actually, here's the new one. So I have a 4 thing now. I think you're going to get a little bit more stability out of the 4. I'm working on how light I can print this thing out to get it down in weight a little bit. So for my new head, that's going to be the 4-piece. I've printed out a full-size skirt and ring combo again. Like I said, the TAS 5 is just a little bit too small, so I had to print it in 2 pieces. So here's the full skirt and the full dome, or full skirt and full ring, and then this part will fit right inside of here underneath these lips, and I have little screw holes in there, as you can see there. So that'll screw in there, and then I'll glue it and take the screws out to save on the metal weight. Sorry I'm talking so softly, my baby is asleep. Now for the dome. So coming off of the spindles, I wanted to keep that general idea, so I cut it down to 2 thicker spindles that are kind of ingrained more into the side of the wall. Looks pretty thick and chunky, but this thing's actually really, really light. I have low perimeters, low infill, practically no infill on this thing. And then this spindle will represent all of that, and these parts here are all kind of built right into that. So when I glue this together, it'll be one solid piece. Same thing for the skirt and ring combo. And then I printed out a tester of the top 2 pieces. As you can see, I think I went a little bit, let me see if I can focus that, I went a little bit too low on the infills. So it's pretty rough, but I'm going to reprint it in 2 pieces standing up straight, and I think that'll be the final solution for this top piece. But this weighs like practically nothing. I don't even, that's going to be super light. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep the weight down. Here's the Disco Droid kit. Now that came with this speaker here, which is actually pretty heavy. So I bought this thing that people are talking about. I don't think it's that much lighter, but it might be louder. It's called a transducer, and it kind of, instead of having the magnet and then that goes into the speaker, I think the way this works is that you use the whole dome as a speaker. So this thing is kind of just like the magnet that you attach to the side, and then it uses the dome to resonate all the sound. I haven't gotten that far yet, obviously, but when I do, I'm definitely going to try out that option, because that seems to be a good way to go. But yeah, as for weight, with the test head, I printed out this thing and filled it with some lead. It's just a weight, and that when I put this on here on the spindle and drive it around, it makes it about Makes the whole thing about 5 pounds. So I figured that was like an upper limit. But even at 5 pounds, it's like pretty much undrivable. The head is really out of control, and the whole thing, even with all the weight that I have in the bottom of the ball, is it's pretty out of control. So I want to try to keep my entire head around 3.5 pounds when it's all finished. I think that's going to be a decent challenge. Oh, the lawn guys are making noises. So yeah, but that's where I'm at with the head. I have quite a few heads here now, which is kind of funny, but yeah, that's where I'm at.